Alright guys, we are back once again, and we are going to be doing another review today, and today we are going to be reviewing, shockingly, the Twisted Metal TV show series. Now, I've seen different reviews, or not really reviews, but I've seen different takes on like different TikToks, different review boards, things of that nature, just to kind of, before I even watched the show, and there was a lot of mixed takes on it. Me personally, before I get into how I feel about this show, I did play Twisted Metal, the video game. This is loosely based on the video game franchise. And if you're a 90s kid like I am, yes, you played Twisted Metal however many times. And I think I got to like one or two, and then after that, I kind of just dropped it. So I really don't remember a lot of the backstories to these characters, if there was a backstory. And the way that they base on this show is we have different characters that kind of collab in one whole setting. So, first off, I will say, if you're a video game fan, check this show out. If you're a fan of comedy, if you're a fan of action, racing, just blow up shooting type of movies, definitely check this out. So I would say if you're a fan of like Deadpool, Death Race, Fast and Furious, what else? I would say just really messed up movies and messed up humor. Definitely check this show out. So obviously we got Anthony Mackie starring as John Doe, who is a loose mouth, crazy driver who does deliveries from town to town, city to city, state to state, by the name of a milkman. So he does one to I believe New San Francisco or New Chicago. And what happens is he gets invited in the city. No one gets invited in the city. Something happened to occur where all the internet went down, cell phone service, everything. Everybody went to basics. Everyone started stealing, rioting, doing all kinds of crazy stuff. Neve Campbell plays Raven, and she is a leader of this in the wall city, and she offers John a deal to where if he takes this one package and gets it to her within 10 days, she will allow him into the city. Now, he does not know who he is, where he comes from. He has a very loose memory on who he is. Now, him wanting to be safe, he finally says, okay, let me go ahead and try this. Now, during his journey, he comes across many other characters. He comes across Stephanie Buritz. Again, she's played in a bunch of different shows, movies. She plays as Quiet. She is a survivor of where her brother came from. And what happens is her and John come across paths, and they keep running into each other, and then they start working together. And then they even come across the legendary character of the Twisted Metal franchise, Sweet Tooth, as well as many others, such as Agent Stone and others as well. Now, Agent Stone was played by Thomas Hayden Church. Again, good actor. He's always good at playing a villain. He was actually a dick in this. His backstory is that he was pretty much a rent-a-cop who got tired of being always treated like crap, and then when all this crazy stuff occurred, everyone started going to him for protection. He declined or accepted, and then he just went nuts after killing someone and even killing someone by accident. Then he started recruiting different ones to his cause that were willing to follow him to kill anyone that he considered to be an outlaw, and he wanted to law the entire of the United States. So he comes across Quiet and her brother, and he gives them the choice. Her brother kills himself, and then she goes ahead and continues to fight to try to get revenge on Stone. And even with Sweet Tooth, I will say with Sweet Tooth, this was very interesting because a lot of people either love this character or despise this character. He's a very legendary character in the Twisted Metal franchise who apparently, as a child actor, had a nervous breakdown, went nuts, killed an animal on set, and then went to be institutionalized in a mental hospital, then went to jail, and then broke out, and he's been in Vegas ever since. And I will say, the entirety of Samoa Joe playing as Sweet Tooth was really interesting, and also I guess Will Arnett was doing Sweet Tooth as well. So it was really kind of interesting on the way that they portrayed these characters, even with John, that we find out later on in the series, because we find out a lot about John, that he found his car, Evelyn. He found her and he fixed her up, and he considered Evelyn his home, and then unfortunately she does get destroyed, and he builds a new car with Quiet by the name of Roadkill, and they take on Sweet Tooth as well as also Agent Stone. They have this big old just shootout with the cars, which was absolutely amazing. There was a lot of badass scenes in here. There was a lot of comedy in here. One of the writers was from Deadpool, so again, if you like dark humor, you will like this series. There was a few Easter eggs, especially in the very first, I think, not even 5 minutes, you get to see the video game cover of the very first Twisted Metal, and then even a few references of, like, I think Nev Campbell saying it'll be this, and just all messed up Twisted Metal, because at the very end of Season 1, again, Season 2 has been yet to be confirmed, which hopefully it does, because I like the build-up that they were having, because we find out that she was trying to get John in so she could use him for this tournament, that the one that he got her order from is putting together, and they get to win a grand prize. All these great drivers are going to be putting together into a tournament, and whoever wins gets the prize. Obviously, the Twisted Metal of how it was in the game. And this was the build-up of it. It was just starting of different ways. I liked the world that they build Twisted Metal of, you got these different gangs, you got these different fractions, you got different ones that are just crazy. You have ones that's on the road for truckers, you have the Holy Men, you have the Vultures, you have these different cities, these different fractions. So it was really cool to see the world that they built in these crazy storms in this area as well, just because you never knew exactly what you were getting into with the franchise that is currently being built in Twisted Metal. And come to find out that the city that John was in, he finds out that he did live there. He started remembering different things. He even realized he has a sister, and he still declines, but now he has no choice because he's pretty much being held hostage against his will by Nev Campbell's character, due to the fact of she wants him to be her driver and win. Then when Quiet is still out in the city, because again, him and Quiet do develop a relationship, they do get together, she's willing to let go due to the fact of having him in the city is what he wants, and she doesn't want to be the reason why he does not go in. Even though within about a month or so, he decides he wants to leave. Now, Quiet does have her own issues of learning how to use the car, learning how to take care of the car, as well as becomes almost like a freedom fighter in a way. She starts taking milkman deliveries from different drivers and giving it to technically the homeless. So she's almost becoming like a Robin Hood in a way. And then the very last part of the season, she gets ambushed by these unknown people, and the leader seems to be John's younger sister. And don't know exactly who she is, where she's been this entire time. So overall, I think Twisted Metal as a whole was interesting. I will say it was very interesting. I think Twisted Metal can be a good series or a bad series. Now again, if you go above, I'm not trying to get into whether I like this actor or I dislike this actor. I like Anthony Mackie as this character. He's he's almost reminds me of Deadpool in a way, and you can see a lot of Deadpool in this show, obviously because one of the writers did write for Deadpool. But at the same time, there was some of this that was kind of cringe. Some of it was kind of funny, kind of stupid, kind of eh. So it depends on your own take of humor. Now, again, there are certain things Anthony Mackie has said or done that I agree with or disagree with. Same thing with other actors or actresses. But again, it's neither here nor there. I think Twisted Metal is a decent adaptation to the video game franchise. That is my overall opinion. Again, there was things about this series that I wasn't a big fan of, but I can get over it to get to the main point. I want to see more Sweet Tooth. I want to see him more going and, being crazy, this maniacal, crazy, killer that Sweet Tooth is. Now, we may see that more in a possible season 2. With the way that the season 1 ended, Sweet Tooth could possibly be dead, or he could be knocked out, and because all we saw was his mask in that big old free for all fight. So overall, guys, what was your overall take of Twisted Metal? Was it a good show? Was it bad? Was it Was it something you would rewatch? Are you hoping we get a season 2? What is your overall thoughts on it? Let me know down in the comments down below. If you guys are new to the channel, always say about subscribing, leave a big fat like on the video if you guys enjoyed. And as always, I'll be seeing you guys on the very next one.